My name is Ethan McMullen, and today I'm going to teach you how to hit my forehand and backhand for my tennis shots. For the forehand, I always start with my thumb and index finger, the webbing in between. I place my hand at the bottom of a racket with the fingers parallel to the strings. That way you can actually hit it with the strings whenever you get the chance to hit the ball. After I get my hand placement, I cock my wrist back so that I can have leverage on the ball whenever I swing through it. Then I bring my shoulder back like so that I will be ready to hit the ball whenever it comes to me. And then you got to focus on your feet. You want to have good footwork so that you can get to the ball and won't have to be reaching for it once you get there. So for my forehand, I always like to open up my feet and pivot off of my left foot like this. And then I take big steps until I get to the ball, and I chop my steps down so it looks something like this once I put it all together. And then I get here, bend your knees so that way you can be underneath the ball and you can swing through the ball and not down or up on it. You want to swing through like this, and then end with your racket on your shoulder, so that way you will have a good follow through. You want to have a good follow through because if you just stop your swing like this, the ball will be going over the fence and be ricocheting. You won't have any control over it. And that's how I hit my forehand. For my backhand is a little bit different from most people's because I hit a one-handed backhand. For my backhand, I have the same placement with my webbing between my thumb and my index finger, but this time it's on the frame instead of the racket strings. So for my backhand, I always make sure my arm is as stiff as possible since it's a more complicated shot for me. And that way I can take some of the mechanics out of it. So I always turn my shoulders like this with my arm back, chin tucked over the shoulder, and then I do a little bit of different steps for this. I cross over more with my backhand than I do with my forehand just because it feels more natural to me. And it'll look like this once I get to one, and then I chop and I step through, and all my weight is on my front foot whenever I swing. And I go up like this with strings facing to the ceiling or to the sky when you're outside. So my forehand, in conclusion, will look like this. And backhand will look like this. For my serve, my serve is it's my best shot in my game. For my serve, I have the same grip as my backhand, so that's what's good for me. I always have my left foot up like this, up close to the line, so that way I can be close to the court so I can serve and volley if I choose to. So I toss the ball up with my left arm. I barely get it over racket extension, which I can't do in here because I have a short ceiling. But I bring racket back almost to my back, then I swing through like so and cock my wrist at the very end so that I will have as much power as possible. And that's how I hit my forehand, backhand, and serve for tennis.